that we connect students with. So I just want to have a round of applause for the perseverance and motivation of our teams, because they do a lot of great work. Thank you. All right, before we get started, I would like to do some thank yous. Part of this project is not only to have students present ideas, but for them to actually have businesses that we can support. So we have built up, we started out this competition, 10 years ago apparently, with about $250 on the line. Tonight is $10,000. And I want to thank those who have made this possible, the sponsors of our event. I first would like to recognize Mike Kelly, class of 1980, for his generous sponsorship of this competition and all of our entrepreneurship initiatives. And as a successful entrepreneur himself, he knows how important it is to find people who believe in you and are ready to invest. I'd also like to thank Fred Morrow, a member of the Manhattan College Board of Trustees, for his strong support of entrepreneurs at MC, and Vincent Buffa, a 1985 graduate in electrical engineering, now chairman and CEO of Micros Components, for his terrific support. So a round of applause for our sponsors. All right, the winning team will walk away with $5,000. Second place will receive $2,500. Third, $1,500, and our audience favorite, $1,000. So you can, eat quite a bit of Manhattan College food on these prizes. No, it is for your business. Last year, some of you were here for that, Green Acre Exchange was a business that did vintage clothing, does vintage clothing. They are still very much in operation, and we're excited to see that. We've had 2 or 3 businesses extend quite a ways past the end of our startup competition, and we hope to build that, and we could incubate you in the Entrepreneurship Center as you show greater and greater success. All right, I would now like to introduce Winston Peters. He's the coordinator of this terrific event and director of entrepreneurs at MC, and he has become an important part of the O'Malley School of Business. I don't think he had any idea when we first got him interested in the Innovation Challenge just where this would end up. It's a nightmare. But anyway, no, it's fantastic. But Winston is a consultant for My Uber Life Consulting when he's not here and the rare times that he isn't. This has been about 15 years, I think, that the group has been in New York City and Atlanta and other far-flung places, but really terrific consultant to business on creative issues and helping firms to have a stronger impact. So I'd like to welcome Winston Peters, who will lead us for the rest of this event. Thank you, Winston.
Thank you, Dean Gibson. Sorry, there we go. Again, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here at our 10th annual Innovation Challenge. Looking forward to this one to be just as good as the rest, or even better than the rest. Just a little bit of background before we get started about entrepreneurs at MC. Entrepreneurs at MC mission is to create a collaborative environment for students to ideate, create, as well as innovate on new ideas and make those ideas into tangible businesses. And Entrepreneurs MC gives students a head start in making their ideas tangible. The Entrepreneurship Center is, again, our new initiative that we're pushing forward with. It will be a hub for students who want to be entrepreneurs, students who want to just learn about entrepreneurship, students who want to collaborate with other students. And this place is also something that we want to do is make this accessible for alumni who participated in the Innovation Challenge before to continue on with their entrepreneurial endeavors as well. So we're excited about the Entrepreneurship Center in the library. If you haven't been there yet, please come by and visit. I'm there. So, but moving forward into the competition. And now I'd like to recognize our finale judges. Based on the students' team pitches that you'll see tonight, the judges will rate each team based on a set of criteria, including their value proposition, Does this product help solve a clear problem? Marketing and customer economics, including the revenue and cost structure. Organization and leadership. Do they have the right skills and talent to lead this startup? And finally, effectiveness of the presentation in terms of clarity and passion. And if for those who were here last year, one of our groups definitely had a lot of passion. We will accumulate these ratings for each team to help determine the top 3 winners here tonight. And I'll introduce the judges. First, who you've heard of, Mike Kelly, again, is the managing partner of Yellow Thread Ventures, which funds early stage and other growth-oriented companies. As you know, he graduated in 1980 from the business school, and he founded On Call International in 1995, a leader provider of medical security and travel assistance. Next, we have Ben Hart, graduated in 11. Ben is an entrepreneur, strategist, speaker, trainer, and author with a new book called The Zero Mindset. Ben has a passion for improving the lens in which you view opportunities. Julia Sutton, our third judge. Julia served as president and co-founder of Exhale, a well-being brand which was purchased by Hyatt. She now serves as the chief growth officer for Virtua. Sorry if I got that wrong. Last but not least, Michael Partis is the executive director of the Bronx Cooperative Development Initiative, a nonprofit focused on increasing shared wealth and community-based planning with working class Bronx residents. So now, since we already explained the rules, you've met the judges, now we are ready to start the challenge. Here we go. Yep. Yeah, so the order of the groups that will be going first will be Jump Right. Second will be Nature. Third will be Go with the Flow. Fourth will be PAL Delivery. And last will be Number Hop. For the presentations, as the student groups already know, you have 6 minutes for your presentation, and the judges have 6 minutes to ask questions after the presentations. And with that being said, I will shift over to our first group, which will be Jump Right. You give them a hand. Give me 2 seconds.
Winston, will you tell us what schools each student is?
Yes. So, team 1, as I get them up, Jump Right. Presenting will be this is not like this is what you do. Okay. This is, you know what, we'll make a quick pivot. And if Nature's up to go first, we'll go first, and then we'll come back to Jump Right. So, pivots happen. So, presenting Nature will be Guadalupe Zamata, presenting Nature.
Always the way to get through the judges.
So, hi everyone, my name is Guadalupe Samata, and today I'd like to introduce you to Natur, the food company that wants to change how we eat for the better. So, our mission here is that we believe that innovation has the power to change the future of how we eat. We are dedicated and fully committed in order to developing the most sustainable, healthier, safer, delightful, food system for the future. You might ask, how? Well, our vision is to use biotechnology to shift from full animal consumption to a more reliable meat cultivation process and innovate plant-based meat and dairy products. Why not have meat with integrity? Some facts about myself. I am a chemical engineering student. I'm ahead in college. I'm also an MBA candidate. I have product development experience coming from operation and industrial pilot, research and development, as well as packaging engineering and supply chain. But one important fact about me is that I've been a vegan for 5 years. But also, I had to change to an over-vegetarian lifestyle due to the unreliable food system that plant-based industry currently has. So what's the problem? Let's just start there. One of the main things is that it's so limited as of right now. The industry of plant-based diets, it's so premature, as you can see. If you go to a fine dining restaurant, you might end up ordering a whole meal that's made up of side dishes, like fries or just rice. Or what about those large holidays that we have, like Thanksgiving? Where are the vegans placed, or vegetarians? Let's think about that. Or what about when I want to try my cultural dishes, like saltado? I'm from Peru, by the way. So one of the main things is that a lot of flexitarians, vegetarians, and vegans, and people with type 2 diabetes and other cardiovascular conditions are not able to fully enjoy, but also leave restaurants unsatisfied. Think about this. Regular food companies and restaurants lose profit due to their inability to cater to this specific demographic. But let's put something that might relate to everyone. Think about meat and dairy paradox. It is so extremely complicated to fully understand. Think about that. People enjoy the taste of meat, but they dislike and will not engage in the harm of any animal. But hold on, there's more problems. The raising of cattle and dairy industry is responsible for more than 15% of greenhouse gas emissions. Think about it. In order to raise a cattle, it also adds to the 4% of the responsible 15% of greenhouse emissions. How is this possible? Well, 90% of methane escapes from the burps of the cattle by the digestion. So think about this is the etheric fermentation. But not only that, it also uses more than 70% of all fresh water, which means that in order to make one steak, it will take 4,650 liters of fresh water. And also occupies more than 40% of Earth's land surface. So can we still meat and dairy products if we care about the environment? Think about that. Well, that's why we're here. On a tour, the world is so hooked with the taste of meat and dairy products. And the only way to change this is to develop products with the same experience without animal and non-harming contribution. Think about this. We implement a pilot plan in order to test out our products in the market, develop a scalable manufacturing process to understand the economics and cut down the price to make this more affordable. This is our market size. As you can see, all meat eaters versus this other demographic, it's equivalent to almost 50%, which has been increasing in the late years. And the market size of the plant-based industry. The retail market for plant-based food is worth now $7.4 billion. As well, it has increased more than $5 billion over the years from 2019. Steve, on your table, there's a sample of the shiitake mushroom. You can see and look at the texture and the fibers of the meat. This is our business model, and we split it up into different categories such as R&D, manufacturing, packaging and fulfillment, as well as marketing. And the estimated cost to make 60 products, for example, for the shiitake mushrooms, is a total of $200. And the retail part is between $10 to $12, which gives us a margin profit of 70% to 80%. And the revenue streams for this is that we're going to use direct consumer using our own website as well as pay-per-click ads on Amazon. And our distribution strategies focuses on distribution software, restaurants, as well as retail stores. Yes. And this will be selling on Vegan coming up soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Guadalupe. First question for me is, sales-wise, what's your competitive advantage?
So right now, we have, as you can see, we're able to have the retail price from $10 to $12, which gives us a retail price of this. The competitive advantage that we have is that we're just starting this, and this is completely unique. And we're developing new flavors as we mimic the same texture of the meat. So right now we have a line of beef jerky that only has different, like going to Jamaican flavors, but also going into a more cultural side. And we're also having the new line of pulled pork that is fully made of shiitake mushrooms, and that will be tested out on Vegandale, as well as we're carrying a new product testing as we also become vendors in there. So that's like what we're heading towards, but we're basically testing now how this will play out against our competitors.
Do you have any ideas how you're marketing it?
Yes. Actually, I had it here, right here. So this is the marketing that we have. This is a B2C marketing strategy as well as to B2B marketing strategy. So we're going to use word to mouth as well as food festivals and also advertising at Manhattan College, as well as using Amazon marketing services, ML newsletters, and restaurants. And you can see the retail stores, content creation, as well as social media, and the emphasis on the uniqueness and the mission of this specific product.
So the vegan food market, how quickly is it growing?
Yes. So as of right now, you can see, only from 2019, it increased more than 5.5 billion. So as of right now, it's worth 7.4 billion. And it's on the premature stages, as you can tell. And as of right now, the vegan milk has the highest retention of customers, but also, as you can see from Beyond Meat, but also Impossible Burger, they're all trying out, and there's new markets such as flexitarians, who a lot of us think we're not flexitarians, but most of us are flexitarians because we like to try either one day we eat meat, another day we eat fish, but another day we want something based on plant-based. So that's the thing that is an ongoing market. And you can see that as of right now, our main targeted customers are millennials and Gen Z, which now it's equivalent to almost 50%, just as much as meat eaters. So that's how fast it's growing up right now.
What do you think is the biggest difficulty getting people to go to a plant-based diet?
The biggest difficulty on that, I believe, is the education part. They're not fully informed on that part. And also, our main goal is to be able to allow them to try and give them those options, especially for underrepresented communities and diversity. I can tell from my own personal experience, I am from Peru, and the main dish that we like, all of them have meat on it. So I have to be creative in every time that I make my own meals. And because of that, as of right now, and I can tell from my parents, they enjoy their meat and they prepare with so much joy and all of that. But I allow them and gave them the options to try new things, and they're actually enjoying it a lot as well. So it is good to have those options. So why not have an abundant options for countries like Mexico or Peru that also have the disadvantages that the cardiovascular diseases are just going up. So why not have healthier options for these specific demographics?
Really great job
Thank you.
presenting. The name is very interesting. Is it trademarked or?
No, it's not trademarked.
Okay, that's a great name.
Thank you.
And then, what have you produced any of this food yet? Have you been, where are you in terms of the life cycle of the product?
Right now, what you can see on the table, those are the shiitake meat. It's just jerky. It is dry meat. And you can see how it mimics the same as the meat and also how the fibers are breaking up. So as of right now, we're just doing in-house production. It is very minimal compared to how we want to go in the further years and make it more scalable. That's why we want to implement a pilot plant scale to test out all of our products into the market. And based on this, we're able to figure out which product is going to work in the market for sure, and then develop manufacturing processes in order to make it full scalable and understand the economics and cut down the price and make this affordable.
So I know I'm in a rush. One quick question. So I know you were kind of rushed in some capacity because you were talking about the problem a lot, and I wish you would have got to the solution a little bit quicker. But at the same time, who do you need on your team? Like that's a big component here, right? Because like you're a solopreneur at this point, so it seems. I don't know. But who is that you need? What do they need to do?
So right now, and this is a part I did not get to show, but this is where we're moving. This is the future of Nature. We're trying to create and also produce clean meat by using actual animals and using the stem cells, but not harming the animals. And in order for me to do this, I need to fuel my R&D side. So I need to have the greatest minds in order to build this vision that I have. And the main thing that I'll say for my side of the business part, I like to build the strongest team on the business and marketing part in order to focus more, give that part to my business team, but also focus more on the chemical engineering side, which I am the best on, but I'm also getting my MBA, so I'll make the connections with everyone in order to make this happen. So I'm very excited for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Guadalupe. Oh, thank you for that. Now, as we go and transition into our next group, I just have to give me a moment just to upload their new presentation. 2 seconds. And coming up next is Jump Right. Again, and coming up from Jump Right is we have John Devani, we have Elizabeth Loretta, and as well as Matthew Tybee. Sorry. They're all mechanical engineering students presenting Jump Right. Here we go.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm John Devana.
I'm Elizabeth Laverty.
And this is Jump Right. Jump Right is a knee brace that we designed to prevent athletes from tearing their ACL. The three of us up here are all mechanical engineering students here at Manhattan College. Over the summer, I worked at an orthopedic hospital where on a daily basis, I saw patients that tore their ACL. And from that, I saw firsthand that there was a high demand for this, especially in athletes.
I previously worked at a physical therapy office, and many female athletes would come in where they were injured in either their ankle or their quad, and we realized that even when they were in recovery that their knees were extremely weak, and therefore we saw that if we could prevent their knees from becoming even weaker during that time, that there is a specific need for this type of product.
So the purpose of our knee brace is to essentially retrain the muscles within a female athlete's knees to improve their landing position and thus reduce the stress placed onto their ACLs. We decided to focus specifically on female athletes because biologically women have a shorter ACL than men, and they can withstand lesser amounts of force without sustaining an injury. And so because of these biological factors, women are 2 to 8 times more likely to suffer an ACL injury than men. And these types of injuries commonly occur in sports with intense change of direction movements like soccer and basketball. And fortunately, we were able to work with female athletes here at Manhattan College to test out our knee brace, and they were able to give us some feedback based on the overall effectiveness and comfortability of the brace. And so over the past few decades, there's been a drastic increase in the amount of women participating in collegiate sports as well as pursuing a professional athletic career. And so subsequently, there's been an increase in the number of female athletes sustaining ACL injuries. And so unfortunately for these female athletes pursuing a professional career, professional sports teams know that the recovery process of an ACL injury can be an extensive one, and so they're likely to experience a fall in their draft stock later on down the line, which you can see in this figure on the right, which shows a breakdown of the most recent WNBA base salaries based on where a player was chosen in the draft. And you can see that a fall in just a few picks can result in the loss of several $1,000s per year. And so we thought that it would be, for a female athlete looking to pursue a professional athletic career, it would be a good decision to invest in a product that would be able to prevent their risk of sustaining an injury such as this.
And we chose to 3D print our brace, and we did this because it's a cost reduction, making it cheaper to manufacture multiple braces at a time. And also, since our brace is 3D printed, we have the ability to scale it to different size options, and we even have an option to custom fit the brace to any athlete's leg. And then foam and Velcro were added to the brace for comfort and flexibility. And the Velcro also makes it that when the athlete is putting the brace on their leg, it can be adjustable and fit properly. And then about how our brace is used, the brace is used by the female athletes during stability workout training sessions, because that's when proper form is most important and when the leg muscles that support the ACL are being used the most. And so we tested our brace here at Manhattan College with the female athletes of the soccer and dance team. And so these athletes wore the brace for 6 weeks during weekly training sessions with workouts that were focused around building that stability around the knee. And their improvement in form was tracked throughout the research.
So, as we talked about, there are different sizing options that are available. As you can see here, there are 5 different options: extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large, depending on how the athlete's leg is. And then there are also color options for them to choose from. As you can see here, we also have a premium option available, which includes the customizable option, in where the athlete would send us their measurements of their own leg and we would customize a brace to fit them. So our budget breakdown, our cost of production of a single brace is about $90 a brace, and we would sell the standard size for $150 a brace and the customizable model for $180. And we would offer a package deal to teams that could potentially create all custom size for their team and for each of their players. And looking towards our competitors, right now there are only braces that are used after injury and during recovery periods. Thank you. And these braces are $200 to $400. And the main manufacturers are Bragg and McDavid. And we are opening a new sector of this market, as this is a preventative knee brace, which is not really on the market right now. But we see them as possible competitors as they're currently making braces. So we are mainly focused on targeting female athletes, age ranges 13 to 25, as this is when they're most likely to tear their ACL. This is also at the very beginning of their collegiate and professional careers. And this is a type of feminine technology, or femtech, and we are going to market through social media. And we are also hoping to target trainers as well as physical therapists, because they are constantly working with these athletes, and we are hoping that in the future physical therapists will have the standard sizes that their patients can use, and then refer them to the customizable option that will help retrain their knees in the future and make them much more efficient. And as we had mentioned before, we tested on the athletes here at Manhattan College, so we were able to get feedback and see how the customizable options worked for them. Thank you so much. Any questions?
All right, questions from our judges.
I didn't see in your presentation anything about competition.
So, so Bragg and McDavid are our main competitors, right there. So they are the current manufacturers. So we are doing a preventative type of knee brace, which is very new to the market, and so there are no competitors that are doing the same thing that we are potentially doing. However, these are the main manufacturers of the regular knee braces that you would normally think of, and so we see them as potential competitors in the future as they can make braces that are very similar to ours.
So there's an important business concept called the moat.
Okay.
You got to protect your business.
Mhm.
It's like a castle with a moat. So what would stop Bragg and McDavid from developing a brace that would be used prior to an injury?
So we don't think that there's anything stopping them right now. Obviously, they're making very good money doing what they're doing right now. Because it's so new to the market, there's obviously more research that needs to be done in the future. And so we would have the competitive advantage of doing it first, essentially, and really gathering that research and making ours as much better than hopefully they would. And
So it's a first-to-market strategy,
yes.
right?
You had mentioned you worked in an orthopedic office. What does the orthopedic think about this? Does he think this is an effective way to go about preventing injury?
Yeah, so when I was with them, I specifically studied knee stability in the patients. I was working with patients that had already torn their ACL, and so we were seeing how after their ACL surgery, how stable their knee was. And so that's kind of why we focused on the stability workouts that are associated when wearing the brace.
I noticed it was on one knee versus both. Would that cause a weakness in one side versus the other?
We just did our research right now on the athlete's dominant leg. We didn't study anything about how it affected the other leg yet, but we wouldn't see any conflicting.
And would you think about going to insurance agencies directly as opposed to your strategy?
That's a very good point. We really wanted to start with the social media type of marketing before we went into any other industry or sector. Yeah, exactly.
This fits very close to home me because my girlfriend literally just tore her ACL about a month ago. So I'm very familiar with how difficult this process is and those braces and how pricey they can be.
Yes.
If it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't have too much to add to this, but I'm very familiar now. So this is a preventative thing, right? So,
Yes.
all right. So they would wear these to prevent an ACL tear,
Yes.
right? Okay. What about going to other universities and colleges? Is that a strategy for you guys at this particular moment, other than the WNBA? But what about on the university side?
Yeah, of course.
Going
I
to
mean,
the
we've
clubs
had
there?
really good success working with Manhattan College, and the athletes here have been really receptive to using the brace, and they've had very good feedback. And so, I mean, that's definitely a possibility, especially Fordham, which is right here. Working with different colleges would be great for us. Yeah.
Plus one on this being a real life problem. One of my really good friends from the Bronx played high school basketball, blew out her ACL. So this speaks to me. I think some of the questions here were landed. I was going to ask about the customer. I was going to ask about really the customer. But how do you convince an athlete? How does this product speak to an athlete to wear it? How does it speak to an athlete to wear this not in a game?
Like the preventative part?
Right.
So, I mean, just like how you guys both said, people who have torn their ACL. So, I mean, I was an athlete all my life, and I had a lot of teammates who also tore theirs.
Jumping?
That was not me jumping.
Oh.
No. But I had a lot of my teammates who tore their ACL, and if you told them that they could have prevented it, they definitely would. You never come back 100% from that type of injury, and so people who are really passionate about their sport and want to pursue a higher level playing that sport, this is a great option for them because you will not risk that injury as an athlete, and so. I mean, the athletes here have been really receptive, as I said before, about wearing the brace, and so, and just doing the stabilization exercises have really helped them.
Did you talk to any? Time's up. Did you talk to any of the PT folks about purchasing? Not about the problem biologically, but did you talk to him about purchasing this?
I worked with a physical therapist, so I talked to him a little bit about it. We hadn't gotten super far into the stages, so talking about pricing and everything was not there. But like you said, he was very receptive about trying to like deal with this problem in the way.
This can also be used for like post-injury or post-surgery, or is this just all preventative?
This is supposed to be preventative, yeah.
Because right, if you go into a PT, they're probably already injured.
So. Yes, exactly. This would be more for like injuries of like the ankle, because like how I mentioned, like the muscles everywhere else are going to be really weak. So if someone comes in with a sprained ankle, their knees are also very weak because of that. They're overcompensating. So even using that brace during that type of injury is really important.
All right.
Thank you, Jump Right. So far, we had an alternative meat option group. Well, solo entrepreneur. Now, second up, we've had a preventative brace to prevent ACL tears. Next up, we will have Go With The Flow. Go With The Flow is a group comprised of Melissa Baptista, business major, Sama Nafa, who is a mechanical engineer, Karen Flores, also a business major, and Philip Umedi, I got it right, Umedi, also a business major. Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Hello. Could you? Okay. Hello. Okay. Hi everyone. We are the Go With The Flow team, and our presentation highlights our energy harvester. So our team is comprised of 17 different Manhattan College students, all from different kinds of backgrounds in terms of majors. And this is currently our first competition. We are centered around another competition that we're going to be in during May, which is called the Marine Energy Collegiate Competition. And we are essentially a government-funded project because we applied to be within the competition last semester, and after getting approval, we got a $20K grant from the Department of Energy to create our energy harvester. We will be competing in May during Water Power Week in Washington, D.C. with 14 other teams from around the country and the world. And our competition in May is comprised of design, a business plan, community outreach, and a research-based business report.
Hi, I'm Belisabel. So you may be wondering, like, why are we doing this? So we're doing this to help create a policy change by facilitating more scientific research, as well as create more accurate models for future innovations, and create a hopefully to create a better future environment, as well as hopefully save time and money. Our device has the capability to provide auxiliary power for environmental monitoring buoys to create an argument towards the necessity of policy changes in hopes of turning these prototypes into commercial modules that can be sold to different companies in efforts to power their buoys utilizing marine energy.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Samanafa. I'm the senior mechanical engineer on this team and the team leader. So our problem is this. We are working with another startup company in the Bronx, Duro UAS. They do environmental monitoring buoys, and like any other buoy company, most of their buoys are battery operated, which is not quite efficient when you put it in the river, because you might want to, they usually take it out every few months to change those batteries. So what we're trying to do is make a module or a mechanism that would harvest the energy, the marine energy from the river current surrounding the buoy, and make that into power to power the batteries, and which would help them with maintenance and would require them to take the buoy out of the river much less. and Phil will guide you through our solution, what we found.
Thank you. I'm Philip. I am a finance and economics major and math minor at Manhattan College. So for our solution, thanks. There we go. So for our solution, after a lot of research about river currents, the impacts on oscillation, and we discovered that piezoelectricity could actually be a real solution if you apply it to the buoy or to the device through an external compartment. So piezoelectricity basically is an electrical charge that is generated through mechanical tension, which in our case, using a piezo strip, would be the bending or the flexing of that piezo strip. And if it's applied through an external compartment or at the riverbed, it can actually generate enough energy to power the buoy. And we'll discuss more about how that works when we get to the mechanical design.
Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to be guiding you. Hello, did it turn off? There you go. Okay, perfect. So this is our current market. So the global wave and tidal energy market was valued at $527.7 million in 2021, and it's expected to grow at a compounding annual rate of 27.4% during the forecasting period as seen on the graph provided. So there is currently a growing need for different kinds of, there's currently a need to replace the current kinds of energy sources such as coal, gas, and oil. And the rising funding provided by the public and private sectors, especially when having to control over employment generation, economic positioning, and stuff like that, are key factors for driving the general growth of the market that we are trying to target.
So our customers are different individuals, both private and public environmental agencies, such as the U.S. Department of Energy, scientists, hydrologists, environmental officials, and the Department of Environmental Protection. You may be wondering why we chose these customers. It's because they're all environmental agencies bent on creating a more sustainable environment. So our budget and costs, we have a total budget of $20,000, $15,000 of the basic, and then $5,000 of the build and test. So our allocation process, we each needed to identify the needs for each sector for our team, as well as additional costs of traveling and attending the competition, which are not included in here because obviously that's separate. So then we had electrical engineering team expenses, which you can see here, and mechanical engineering team expenses. They're all one-time purchases, primarily material costs. Future costs would include repairs / maintenance services.
All right, I'll skim through this quick and you let me know when I'm done. But basically, we developed a very good relationship with Duro. They give us a lot of industry advice and a lot of guidance through that, a lot of technology devices as well. Our product, as you see here, this is just a prototype for testing. I'll dive into it in a little bit. From the mechanical side, we are using wake-induced vortices, as you see on the top right. We use an interference cylinder in the back, and that kind of disrupts the flow, which helps oscillation more, which is what we're aiming for on those piezo strips that Phil was talking about. On the electrical aspect, we're doing a lot of programming, integrating sensors. This is a functional decomposition from the electrical side. Okay. I'll kind of guide through it as you have any other questions.
Well done, and really exciting that you've already gotten this grant of $20,000. Do you see this eventually as a for-profit business or more of a non-profit?
So from I think Belisabo is good with profit talk, but from what we've seen so far, most of these buoy companies are battery operated, so they are really in need of something like this. It saves them money, it saves them time, and it saves them the maintenance of going in to deploy and implement again their buoy.
So that's your competition right now. You have competition, but it's a different, it's battery operated versus what you're proposing.
Right.
So no one's doing what you're proposing.
Some companies are doing that. It's further into the slides, but the companies that are doing this are basing it off of existing structures. What we're doing is a completely detachable thing. Any company can implement it and kind of program it towards their own environmental buoy or whatever they might want.
Exciting.
To start, I think your team is very awesome and dope because you guys complement each other very well, it seems. I do say, on my personal opinion, I think that the passing around a lot, each slide might be a little confusing on our end, because I think if you just get a little bit of momentum then pass it off, I think it would just be a little bit better, and just a little bit more to the point. I'm just giving some input maybe for your future pitch, but a little bit more to the point, because I think that some of this can be a little confusing for somebody who doesn't speak the language like that. Like I'm just like a regular dude, so I'm like trying to like read through the lines. I'm like, interesting. So I need like just super simple. I think that would be super helpful going forward. But I think you kind of mentioned your partners. I want to know if you guys had any relationships or how you were going to get to those partners in the first place. So,
are you talking about Duro as our partner? So our main partner right now so our main partner right now, I don't know where he went, is Duro. So they're working very closely with us. Their head engineers are working very closely. Am I not answering? From distribution standpoint? Oh, believable.
I think you guys had a slide on that. This one. Customers. Yes, customers. Yeah.
Oh, our customers. Okay.
Sorry.
So the way that we're doing this is we already have a partner. Our main partner, as Sama said, is Duro. So we are partnering with them in the sense that our engineers are creating the energy harvester and they're providing the buoys. So basically with them, we're able to get into contact with other environmental agencies through them or through other third parties to be able to produce this over to them. And referring back to the question that you mentioned about for-profit or non-profit, it can go both ways. I mean, we haven't set a price on it, but if we were to, it would depend on how much it would cost us, as we mentioned, as well as how much they're going for now, both in the general sense and both for environmental agencies like this.
Great. I love to see the mixed team of the business people and engineering. Just a couple of quick questions. Have you investigated sort of the watch technology, automatic watch technology? You know, your automatic watch winds itself as it moves. And I just wondered if you'd thought about that, because a buoy is rocking back and forth simultaneously.
That's actually in one of our slides. We didn't really get to cover or talk about one of the problems behind actually putting a buoy in the water is the fact you can't really control the waves. And for the piezo strip to work, it actually needs that interference cylinder to create the vortices. So if it's tilted at an angle, it just can't work. So a really cool solution we thought of was actually just putting like a circular capsule on top of the buoy to keep it level. So that way the piezo strip can actually flex and rotate and generate enough energy. That's one of the issues we actually looked into. Although it wasn't from the watch angle, though. It was just something we thought about.
Just recently I read an article about something along this line where people were using this for production of electricity for their homes if they live in an area that's close to, it might be like a community where you would be able to source some of your electricity from this type of model. So, nice presentation.
So is this working on current patents already? Is it like an existing intellectual property that you're building off of, or is there some new intellectual property you think you're creating?
So are you talking testing-wise? Like where is it going to be implemented?
So the product is
Right.
the buoy, but the technology behind the buoy, is it from patents and other things that exist, or is there new intellectual property that's going to be created in order for the buoy to do what you say is going to do? Does that make it clearer?
So the buoy is already provided by Duro. We don't really mess with the buoy at all. We kind of do a detachable thing that wires to the buoy to improve the efficiency and the power of it. So the buoys would be something that is already existent from companies we work for. The detachable module is all going to be us, and it's going to be programmed to the need of the customer.
So the actual product would be the select and the mechanical design. That's what we'd actually be making and offering to people that make the buoys. There you go.
That's where I'm going, basically.
Actually. Yeah.
That's why I was trying to gently go. Anyway, I don't want to give
Currently
advice.
the idea only exists in a few research papers where we got the idea from. So I guess it is completely novel. So if we do succeed, we could definitely protect the patent and the IP.
Have you all, one more question, have you all looked into freight, like energy, like water-powered freight? Have you thought about how this technology could feed into that?
No, we haven't, but generally I think if we can, I guess if we get the grant and our prototype succeed and we can make it a product, I can imagine that in the future we can develop ways to generate more power, because as it stands, the piezo strip can only generate a certain amount of energy because it's a buoy, the vortices are pretty small, so we'd have to figure out a way to scale that energy to power a crate or a bigger product.
Thank you. Go with the flow. You know, we love seeing the collaboration of engineering and business to working on new innovations and new ideas. Following with that theme, we have Pal Delivery. Presenting will be William Reed and Pori Botcher, which is another combination of engineering as well as business. Okay. Before Pal Delivery comes on, just as a reminder, at the end of this, we have our audience favorites, so please stay tuned because you get to vote for your audience favorite group. So without further ado, presenting Pal Delivery. There you go.
Last mile. And just to make sure, all right. Yep. Right, everything's pretty good. Good. Hello everyone, this is Delivery Pal, solving the last mile delivery problem locally. My name is William Reed. I'm a sophomore civil engineering student at Manhattan College, and my business partner here today is Poria Botcher, a software engineering intern who's a grad student at Columbia University, also from Austria. For more information about both of us, read our LinkedIns because we're under a timer. So, anyways, New York City, with a total population of about 8.47 million people, it's the most populous city in the entire United States. So understandably, congestion is at an all-time high. And this isn't really helped by one of the largest vehicles of them all, trucks. They take up the largest amount of space and time on the roads, as well as curbs. They take the longest amount of time to pack and unpack. And they also have the largest shipping costs for any business involved, because you have all these drivers who go from one building to another for high hourly rates. And it adds up over a long period of time. And this also doesn't really help with a lot of CO2 emissions that are usually produced by all of these large truck engines. In addition to this won't really be helped by the proposed congestion pricing in New York City, which, depending on the trucks used and the distance shipped, could be anywhere between $12 to $82 per company just to go to certain parts of New York City. And if your package just so happens to be in the midst of this shipping congestion spree, it's usually not too easy to track it. You usually have to go to the company's website, type in a certain VIN number or some sort of tracking number, and then see where it's roughly located. But there isn't really a centralized way to see exactly where your package is from multiple shipping companies. There isn't a centralized or organized way to see where your package is. So once your package does eventually arrive to your house or apartment, it's usually sitting either at the front step of your front door or at a designated waiting area for a certain amount of time. But there's really no way of telling of when you're going to be back there. And this also leaves your package subject to a lot of theft. As a matter of fact, 1 in 5 Americans were a victim of port piracy, also known as package theft, between March and May of 2020 alone. And this doesn't really help in New York City, in which not every building has a doorman or a good security system. So that definitely increases the risk of your package being stolen. So how could we solve many of the various costs and risks associated with the last mile shipping problem? The answer? Meet them in the middle. Delivery Pal essentially employs workers who are paid per package instead of per hour, and they usually take a package from a designated unloading center in a cart and usually bring it to their apartment, where they watch over it for a certain period of time until the customer is ready to pick up the package. Customers can usually PAL their package, in which they can ship it to this area for a discounted price. And usually they can see which PAL has their package on the Delivery PAL app, and they could usually meet them face-to-face at their apartment, or rather in the lobby or some sort of common space where they could exchange it and make sure that the package isn't tampered in any ways. This does wonders for everyone involved because it saves millions of dollars in shipping costs, it saves a whole lot of mileage for truckers, which also reduces CO2 emission and congestions on roads, and this also establishes a social pact of trust building, since users are also able to rate their PAL with something known as trust rating, in which they can tell that they're trustworthy. And not only that, but you can also pick up your package at any time of the day, whether you're traveling to work, school, etc. Basically, you'll be able to go to the apartment, pick up the package, and so this way you don't have to worry about what valuable item you have in that package waiting at the front desk, waiting for someone to possibly steal it. And not only that, but it also helps community employability, in which Delivery PAL is planning on hiring college students as well as seniors who are in need of extra revenue. So basically, houses will be used as short-term warehouses where PALs will watch over the package until it's ready for pickup. So as of right now, we're planning to basically target Manhattan alone. And even though Manhattan is relatively small when compared to the rest of the US or around the world, that's still millions of people living in one borough of Manhattan. So that still translates to thousands of clients. Technically, our validation cost for the initial prototype app is going to be about $10,000 as estimated by RetroCube, as well as $15,000 later on for other stuff like packages, or well, not packages, but the carts used and other expenses. But the thing that's important about this is that PALs are usually paid per package instead of per hour. And this also leads us to another key term in this presentation. Co-opetition. Competitors are also the collaborators. Shippers who usually deliver their package the full distance can save millions of dollars by traveling a shorter distance as a Delivery PAL client. And not only that, but that also, and this could also be expanded to smaller businesses and even between customers, such as business to customer, customer to customer, and customer to business, respectively. So at the end of the day, not only does Delivery PAL solve the logistic issue of last mile shipping, but it also establishes a social pact of trust building, as the PALs are given a sense of responsibility as someone that people can trust. So, ready to PAL your package?
Number one, I love your energy, man.
Thank you.
What you had before this? I love it. That was amazing. I really like the idea. I think it makes sense, especially for a place like Manhattan. I mean, I got a number of questions. I'm just going to stick with one. So, what about is there like an insurance policy? Considering it's like a shared economy model in some degree, right?
Actually, a few months ago, I had an opportunity to talk with the CEO of Uber, and I asked him about what did he do actually to Uber, and Mr. Khosrowshahi, shared his experiences with me about the insurances, about the trust of the drivers.
Sure.
There are a lot of insurance companies. They can ask them, hey, would you mind insurance the packages? Would you mind actually just help us to have a low cost of the insurance? He said there are a lot of ways to do that, but the first thing is just preventing the frauds. Even if you go to the insurance company and say, hey, please just charge us for $2 for every package. If the fraud is high, they're going to actually come out of the contract like a few months later. And for the frauds, we have the trust system. I mean, in the US, every Uber delivery asks me for the tips, but in Europe, they ask for a rate, They say, would you mind please give us five stars? Because this kind of rate give the customers and even the company the opportunity that, for example, I'm a good boy and he's a bad boy, And who has to be with him? He's a good boy and I'm the bad boy.
Sure.
And then later, down the road, we can see that the frauds is increased and we have more valuable people they work with us, not like bunch of criminals or bunch of people they are trying to steal the packages or something like that.
Sure. Now, just one more last one. So the hubs are at people's homes. Is that what you're saying?
It might be actually some shops. I mean, it depends on the
just anywhere.
Exactly. Actually, the distribution for us is very important.
Sure.
Because sometimes I walk in Manhattan, I see some 5 governmental buildings next to each other and a shop. If you want to choose one building, probably the shop is going to be the place for the hub as a hub. Yeah.
Another thing too is that usually palace will have to pick up packages from a designated unloading center, which is usually some sort of curbside load. If you go to certain parts of New York City, you may see one of these delivery trucks with cones that could have a bunch of packages around there. That's probably one of the areas where palace will pick up the packages in the first place.
I agree. Nice job presenting. Really great. What would you use the money for initially if you were to get your initial funding? How would you look at spending that to start the business?
Well, as stated in one of the earlier slides, if we go back here, actually a little bit too far back. There we go. Here's a chart that goes into the exact price breakdown per pound or per package in this case, but we'll probably need about $10,000 for the initial app. And again, this was based on an estimate that was given to us by RetroCube, who usually gives cost estimates for how much an app is usually worth or how much it costs to start it, depending on this tracking service. But 10 grand will probably be used for the development of the app, maybe purchasing a few carts for the palace to use. And we plan on starting probably somewhere that's not too congested, but still relatively busy, maybe somewhere like Greenwich Village.
And would it just be the team of two of you, or would you add team members at that point?
Actually, that's a very good question. We have a great team member exactly behind you. He's a postgraduate student. Rev, would you mind please stand up? I mean, the diversity in the team is actually very high. I mean, the age difference is like 10 years, but I mean, I love the team. And Rev, I mean, I met him like a few weeks ago. He helped us a lot. He's a postgraduate student at the Columbia, at the business school. We actually like now 3 people. I'm more actually in the software developing and creating, and the both they are more into business. Actually, we are a great team. We are now 3 people, and I would say a team more than 4 people is not productive. I mean, with 3 we are now very happy, and we will actually be happy to have one of you actually as a team member. Welcome.
We're hiring. Another thing too is that it's not just limited to the 3 of us. We also got help from other members throughout Manhattan College, throughout Columbia, and even some of our close friends who helped us develop this project along the way. And I think the same thing can also be said about all the projects here at the Innovation Challenge today. No one person or no one group can focus on the project alone. You need to get by with a little help from your friends.
Exactly.
Good energy. A friend of mine developed a business like this in Dubai. And what they did was they took those Amazon-style boxes that we see, they put them in apartment buildings, and they paid a rental fee to the apartment building, and they made the doorman be sort of the concierge. So I think this model, you know, it doesn't have to be a new idea. You know, there's a lot of great businesses, but I really like this idea, and I think that, you know, as you pound the pavement a little bit, you'll see what the uptake is at different shops. Because I know there's a package shop near my house where you just drop off for UPS or FedEx.
Exactly.
And at Christmas time, they can barely move in the store.
True.
So it'll be curious to see what the feedback is. But I really like this. And, you know, there's a ton of these last mile businesses that are delivering. Amazon doesn't want to deliver that last mile. So the problem you identified is a good problem for both the consumer and for Amazon or the other sort of, you know, those kind of companies.
Exactly. I mean, around the Columbia University, we have like, unfortunately, 2 UPS pickup shops, and they don't work on Sundays. Holidays, they are closed. Christmas, sometimes they are closed. They work from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m., and after 6 p.m. they are closed.
Right.
And you talk about the Amazon packages or boxes, because I'm very curious. I take a lot of photos. Do you mean these boxes?
No, I'm talking about the standalone
Like a
locker box.
Yeah, exactly. And then about the locker box, exactly about the locker box, we calculated the cost of the locker box. They are very expensive, and they require a lot of, I don't know, maintenance cost, and it's not suitable for a lot of packages, the big packages or small packages, you know. You can just find a place and install these kind of boxes, but not everywhere. I mean, the business concept of the idea is like a share economy, what has Uber and Airbnb have, you know. We're gonna just use the asset of the people for a short time to rent them, you know. You have the house under your bed is free. You can use it for a few months, even for a few days to put the packages there and waiting for the customers to call you and you bring them packages to them. And with this face-to-face delivery, we're going to increase the fraud. The fraud of the losing or the missing packages was like about $6 billion. If we can actually prevent like 10% of them, it's like around $600 million.
Great.
Can I get one quick one?
Of course, yeah.
So the PAL can be an individual or it could be like a small business partner or business partner, right? That's the PAL?
Exactly, yeah.
If the PAL's an individual, are they a contract worker or are they like what kind of employee? What's the human capital cost?
Exactly. I mean, in order to decrease the cost, we had a business model to pay per package. That means I don't care if a person works 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours, because some people they need like, I don't know, finishing 100 packages in 2 hours, some people they need like 3 hours. We pay per packages, exactly what Uber does. Uber doesn't pay per hours, pays per ride to the drivers, such as Uber drivers, yeah.
Likewise, this can also be extended to other people who currently aren't in the workforce, such as seniors who are currently retired and need some sort of extra income.
Thank you, Delivery Pal. Next up, last but not least, we have Number Hop. As I get them presentation up, presenting from Number Hop will be Dylan Davis, who is engineering major. We have Lydia Gianluca, thank you, Gianluca, who's a business student, John Polifrino, and Sabrina Scalzo. Thank you. I just didn't want to butcher your names. So, last but again, just as a reminder, after this last presentation, we'll have the audience favorite where you get to vote for which presenter you feel is your favorite for a cash prize. All right. Here we go. And
hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Our product is Number Hop.
Hello, my name is Dylan Davis, and I'm a senior mechanical engineering major.
I'm Lydia Gianluca. I'm a junior marketing major.
My name is John Polifroni. I'm a senior mechanical engineering major.
And my name is Sabrina Scalzo, and I'm a senior mechanical engineering major.
So what is Number Hop? What is our product? Number Hop is, in essence, a toy designed for children with Down syndrome for the educational sense. It is a 6-button push, easy-to-push game for for memorization and for pattern recollection, as well as promoting independence for the child itself. At the same time, we hope that this product would close a gap in the market for specialized toys not being there for children with Down syndrome. Also in honor of World Down Syndrome Day today, March 21st, I wore my socks, so we're good. Yes, we also hope that this product aids in the destigmatization of the lack of toys in the market. So why did we choose Number Hop? The reason we mainly chose it was because A, it addressed the lack of specified toys in the market for children with Down syndrome, as well as it promotes cognitive learning and tuning their fine motor skills. So when they work on this product, this toy, and when they use this toy, it'll help them develop those skills early on. As well as it puts less pressure on the parents and puts the parents at a peace of mind that their children are learning these skills on their own.
So first, I kind of want to mention what is Down syndrome. So the technical term for Down syndrome is trisomy 21, and basically that is when a child is born with an extra copy of chromosome number 21. So Down syndrome does account for about 1 in 700 births of children in the United States, and Down syndrome basically is a child that is born with cognitive delays as well as physical differences. So through researching and trying to develop the perfect Number Hop toy, we want to kind of tell you about why Number Hop can set apart other toys. So when you walk into a common toy store anywhere, all the toys are basically made for neurotypical children. And it's a little bit difficult for parents to kind of want to purchase a toy when they don't know if it's going to work for their child. So this toy is specifically hyper-focused for children with Down syndrome. It's designed for assisting in number learning, hence the 6 buttons, 1 through 6. It promotes independence, and basically we've learned that children with Down syndrome respond very well to repetition and positive reinforcement. So this toy, rather than saying no or yes, it says good job and try again.
So looking at Number Hop's original design, it includes multiple important features, such as a circular layout, basically to minimize injuries due to sharp edges, 6 different buttons that children can press, maximizing simplicity while also still providing some sort of a challenge, and the use of lightweight materials, making the toy easier to transport. Number Hop also includes 2 unique game modes. The first game mode, which is titled Level 1, resembles sort of a practice mode where only one button can be pushed down at a time and the other buttons are locked by a mechanism that we put in place. And the second level, or Level 2 game mode, is more of the standard way to play Number Hop, where all of the buttons are unlocked and the child will have to choose and press the correct button that is given by the toy.
So kind of our breakdown, our SWOT analysis, we decided to use more up-to-date research ways. We consulted with ChatGPT a lot to kind of just see what that looked like. So for the SWOT analysis, our strengths, we encourage the use of fine motor skills, and we also promote independent play in children with Down syndrome. Some of the weaknesses that we've run into so far is that we have really high development costs because this is a relatively untouched market. Our opportunities is that Number Hop is going to help facilitate awareness of Down syndrome, and our threats is that there are other less expensive toys on the market. However, we are the first of our kind to have them tailored to children with Down syndrome. Going into our breakdown, so currently Number Hop costs about $100 to manufacture, and the toy retails for about $140. This is just because we're in the prototype stages. Hopefully once we get out of the prototype, we're going to bring it down to about $20 to manufacture, and we're going to sell it for $50, so we still keep that margin. Our marketing, we're going to start with word-of-mouth marketing, and we're going to go to advocacy groups. We're going to hopefully be able to donate a few of these toys for them. And we're going to go to schools and occupational therapy offices, people who interact a lot with children with Down syndrome. And some of our long-term goals include lowering the cost and trying to manufacture in-house. This is going to help drastically slash the price so we can get it out to more children. That, as well as we're going to start with a private online channel to sell. That way we can control the shipping costs as well as how we're going to package the product. Any questions?
Have you all, do you have any partners in education, like educational psychology, social development? Do you have any partners in that space?
So we didn't have any partners within that type of space, but we did have partners with people that do have family members with Down syndrome. Like Dylan over here, his girlfriend has a little sister with Down syndrome. So we've definitely gone to them a lot to kind of get the points of views growing up with someone with Down syndrome. So we kind of like looked through that point of view.
My last one on partnerships. Any partnerships or consulting with health providers, healthcare providers, medical providers?
Yeah, so we looked at making this a medical device and going through insurance companies, and we realized that it's just not realistic if we want to get it out to as many people as possible. So making it a medical device, you have to go through insurance, there's claims, there's even just getting it to insurance companies, which is just not really feasible for us and not something that we necessarily are looking to do at this time.
Yeah, look into early intervention programs, because I think... Yeah.
So you said there 1 in 700 children a year. How many children are born each year? Like, how big is that universe?
Yeah, so the statistic I read from the UN specifically, it was about 3,000 to 5,000. I could be wrong on that number, are born worldwide with Down syndrome. So not just specifically in the United States.
So did you make your market narrow? Like, I would think there would be other types of developmental areas. You know, as in autism, there's certainly different levels of autism. Some are more profound. are you circling your market too small to make it really not practical?
So this was something that was kind of discussed years past when this was more in touch. But the issue with that is that Down syndrome in particular is very different than any other type of disabilities. Just like any other disorder that there is very different. Even when you think about autism, there are very different aspects of it. And the more of the market was that children with Down syndrome, when they are younger, do not have the fine motor skills, do not have specific things that they can do that other children could do, even when you think about other disabilities. So this toy in particular, the reason why the buttons are so huge is that they could punch the toy and it's made extremely durable. So then that, because usually you cannot tell most children with Down syndrome, oh, you need to be light with your toy, you need to be gentle. This toy is made for that because we wanted to really hyper-focus on that.
Wow, really great job. And so the age group you had said, is it a specific age group that you're targeting
Yes,
as well?
so we're targeting Down syndrome children between 3 and 8.
Okay. And great question earlier about the partnerships. Would this be something I would see in a toy store or not necessarily?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a very way down the line. So we're hoping to eventually get it into Target, but doing our own online private channel with the word of mouth marketing, the social media, the advocacy groups, that's how we're going to initially get the word out. And then since we're going to be able to control most of those external factors, we're going to be able to keep the price relatively low.
Got it. Number one, great presentation. I love that you guys did a SWOT analysis too. That was great. And honestly, I love that you acknowledge some of the weaknesses here because you make it very transparent for us to even look at that. It's like, oh, they acknowledge weaknesses, places you might need to have to build up. I am big on the marketing and partnership side too because I feel like you guys have made a lot of headway on the product side, and I think going forward it'd be really good to see. This is just a piece of advice. I feel like it'd be really good to see a really built out marketing plan, like really well thought out, because as you get into it and as you launch the product, you're going to be like, oh wow, this is the product, but the marketing is just as, if not more important. So it's just one of those things to really think through. And secondly, what are you guys looking for in terms of capital? Maybe I might have missed that. I don't know if I missed it, but if you are, what are you looking for and how would you allocate it to something like this?
So our what we're looking to do right now is get us out of the prototype stage. With the money, we're kind of looking to maybe start to donate some of these toys to schools, occupational therapists, early intervention programs to start to get the word out about it. And we'll obviously be able to have more data and seeing how the children react to the toy.
I also think in the capital sense, I think something that will help us is in-house manufacturing that lessens the risks, that lessens the amount of logistics we need to do, and lessens the amount of outsourcing we need to do. Obviously, there are components within this that we need to be outsourced, like there's an Arduino and there's a motor in there and a bunch of other things. So I think the main aspect of us succeeding as a business would be doing it ourselves.
Great. That's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, Nurbaha, for that great presentation. And now the judges will be deliberating, figure out who will be first place, second place, third place, as well as the audience favorite. So while the judges are out deliberating, you have some time to mingle, have some snacks, have some refreshments, while I'll be having some small interviews with the groups. Don't leave. Please don't leave. Just again, we'll be taking care of the audience favorite winner in another couple of minutes. So please don't leave. Since you're already here, let's actually start the interview for the group. What's your name? Hi, Chloe. I'm Winston. Was- oh. That is awesome. So we're going to get ready for the interview. I just want to make sure that you okay? Okay. Awesome. Just give me 1 second and just please don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Oh, I think we're good? All right, give us 2 seconds, and we just want to interview you real quick. Give us 2 seconds. Or you can stay here too, Chloe, if you want. Okay. So number hop again. I know that this has been a journey of love and a lot of deep ties in terms of this project. I understand this is a senior design project. What made you want to pursue this? I think I might already know the answer, but what made you want to pursue this?
Well, obviously, I've been around people who have Down syndrome. I've been around people who have Down syndrome, like Chloe here. Hi, Chloe. But it's hard to really say because it's just like, it's something that I see, and I think that it is a market that really is untapped, and just making the toy in general seems like a lot of fun. So.
Okay. Another question. What was this journey like in terms of this whole innovation challenge process? What was your high? What did you learn during this process? What did you feel?
So I honestly, I'd say that the high was collaborating with these very intelligent people. They were there all the way. They were critiquing me all the way. I'm not one for criticism, but I mean, they helped a lot. At the same time, I think the lows were just trudging through it, making sure that we get everything right, making sure that everything is set. Because that is really just like, you have to be hyper-focused for this stuff. And if you don't have somebody like these three supporting you, it's not going to work.
So I kind of came on later in the process. I joined in about January, right when we were going to start making the presentation. And just being able to see like the dedication that these three had. And as John said, like it took a lot. There was a lot of like moments where we were like, okay, like let's take a step back. Let's figure out what today needs to look like, and then kind of go from there. And I think being able to piece it apart made it a lot easier for us.
One last question. In terms of this, again, there's been a theme last year, now this year, the collaboration between business as well as engineering. What has the engineering student become more business-minded, and the second question, has the business student become more engineering-minded?
Yeah, so I kind of want to start with this first. So, I mean, I absolutely love being an engineer. I really do. But I feel like sometimes we don't really get that other perspective. And it's a very different perspective. So having Lydia here the second half of the year was definitely a very eye-opening moment. I feel like also for you. It was absolutely amazing. And then I got to learn things about business side and marketing that I never thought I'd ever really learn. And then honestly, working with Lydia has actually pushed me to want to do my MBA next year. So it's been amazing.
I taught the three of them what a SWOT analysis was. I came into one of our meetings and I told them about this thing, and they go, we have no idea what this is. They're like, what are we going to do? And I said, okay, like, yeah. I would like to think I have a little bit more of a grasp on what engineers like actually do in the classroom now. I think it's always kind of an elusive mystery as a business student. But being able to see that was really eye-opening too, just what exactly they do.
Thank you so much. Number Hop, thank you. Thank you for being our special guest, Chloe. All right, again, stay tuned. Hopefully to see where you are. Okay, see what you did. I promise it won't hurt. All right, so jump right. So I know that what has this process been for you, developing this brace, and how did you get the student athletes on board to actually work with you?
I mean, it's definitely been a process, like not only making the brace, but as you said, working with the athletes. We have had really good connections with the soccer players. I used to be a soccer player, so having a connection with them. And then JP is great friends with the dance team, which is kind of how we got that connection. Do you have anything to add?
I would say last semester we took a lot of time developing the brace, and then we started our research this semester, and we also took a lot of time last semester setting everything up to do our research. There were a lot of qualifications we had to meet and scheduling with the dance and soccer team. So really just doing a lot of time management helped us out, I think.
The next question, like, what did you learn about yourself during this innovation challenge process? Like, what was your highs? What was your low? And everything else in between.
I guess it was a good experience to practice speaking in front of a lot of people. It's not something that I'm great at, so it was good to actually get through that and then actually see our design come to fruition with actually testing it out on athletes was really nice to see at the end of the day.
I would say being engineers, we kind of think of things more from the technical side, so it was a different change of pace to think of things from a business perspective and a marketing and like how we're gonna advance our product and actually make a profit from it and sell it hopefully one day.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, JP and I both have business minors, so being able to actually put that into use was really exciting. Actually see it come to fruition and stuff, so yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm waiting for the next one up. Let me get... Give me 2 seconds. What? No, that's the team. No problem. I guess first question is really, again, this has been a theme from previous innovation challenge of the collaboration of engineering and business. My question to you was, being the engineer, have you become more business minded, and being the business students, have you become more engineering minded?
So being the engineer, of course, working with business people brought on the spectrum and brought on the thought a lot about, you know, your language and how you speak, and acknowledging that not everybody understands the technical side, and you kind of have to have a universal language that everybody understands, and have that entrepreneurship and the entrepreneur attitude in the back of your head, because if you're really good at something, you got to make it work, then you also have to have that perspective in mind from the business side.
I'd say that this kind of showed us that there's not only like one player in terms of creating a product, in terms of being more, I guess, like engineering wise. I now understand what a piezo strip is. I now understand the different components that go into creating things like marine energy. And I think that, you know, being able to sit here and say like I understand certain terms and terminology about engineering, it's something that I can now use in conversation when it comes to anything about just energy as a whole.
I want to say, as a business student, our interaction with engineering students has given me an open perspective as to how engineering students and business students both alike talk, because engineering students are more technical and then business students are more formal, but also informal, so it's more easier to understand in certain situations. That being said, I do agree with Karen, because I did not know what a harvester was. I did not know what a piezo strip was. I did not know what a buoy. I didn't even know how to pronounce buoy. So that being said, now that we got to become a team with engineering students, I think that opened up our perspective a lot.
One more question. You mentioned that there's a competition in May in Washington, D.C. with Department of Energy. What are you most looking forward to in terms of that competition now that you have one under your belt now?
We're definitely looking forward to the networking and the connection aspect. It is going to be part of a conference and Water Power Week that happens annually, and we're definitely looking forward to that, making connections, networking with people, making those connections for the future if we decide to make this into a reality and into a separate module and make it come to life. I think this is going to be very important for us to network and make our connections.
Thank you so much. Go with the flow.
This was great for me. This is wonderful.
So, again, delivery pal, William. Great presentation. My question to you both are, what did you learn about yourself during this process of the Innovation Challenge?
Well, I learned that when placed under a lot of pressure, you just got to keep working as much as you can, even if this project may interfere with a lot of other things that are going on with your schedule. You just have to make time for it. It's all about time management. And even still, if you feel stressed, you have to put 110% of your effort into everything you do.
Oh, there you go. I mean, the most important thing that I've learned was like the idea shouldn't be unique. The time shouldn't be actually the best time for the idea, but the most important thing is the team. And I think I always underestimate the power of the team. Now I'm in a team and I'm very happy that we all help each other and support each other.
Another quick question is, I understood you had to pivot before. Like, how challenging was that pivot for you, and what did you learn about yourself having to pivot?
Well, we learned that given the relatively short amount of time we had, just keep thinking, just keep on coming up with more ways to improve the product. Even the day before we presented, we were still coming up with new ways that we could improve not only the pitch, but also the business as a whole. One example of that would be a potential feature. I don't think I said this in the presentation, but one example would be a potential feature to have the PALs deliver the last mile to the purchase department as well for an extra fee. But we're still thinking of so many ideas for this company, and maybe a few other startup projects as well. In the amount of time we have. So just keep on thinking, keep on coming up with ways to improve the product for everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, ready. I'll interview one day after.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's come back to the room. It's time to choose our audience favorite. That's right. All right. I don't know. Does anybody have a cell phone? Anybody? No? All right. Get your cell phone out. This is where you participate. All right. This is to choose the audience favorite. You go to www.kahoot.it. Is everybody there? No. Oh, are we not like millennials? www. Wow, was that an insult? I don't know. All right, www.kahoot.it. I see some of you have got it. And put in the game pin. If you are calling in from home, it's www.kahoot.it. The game pin is 540-8404. So if you are live streaming, the pin is 540-8404. Wow, we're populating pretty good. You guys look pretty good. Did you get to choose that weird looking thing? There we are. Okay. All right. Is there anybody else who needs to join? Do we have everybody? I think we got some. No? Still working on it? All right. Nicholas has joined us. Rich is here. I'm glad somebody went with Happy. Happy is a good nickname. All right. Has everybody had a chance? Are y'all in there? We have 61. 62. Can we get it to 65? Come on. Go. We're still at, no! 60. Okay, we're at 67. Wow. All right, we're at 60, 68, 69, 70. All right, we may be getting some live streaming folks at pin 540-8404. All right, you have 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Wait, we lost somebody? 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to start. Now, we're up at 74, almost 75. All right, here we go. I'm starting. Now, here's how it works. We're going to choose the Innovation Challenge audience favorite in 3, 2, 1. Now, the key is, which is your favorite Innovation Challenge team? All right, the key is on your phone. This is the key part here. If you are voting for Jump Right, that's the one with a lot of jumping. It's the red triangle. If you fake meat, I changed that. If you wanted nature, I'm so sorry. I fixed this. If you want nature, you get the blue diamond. PAL delivery is gold circle. Number hop is green square. And the pentagram, go with the flow, turquoise, and don't use that purple. If anyone uses that purple, I'm going to come and find you. Happy. I will know who you are if you use that purple. All right. I know. Yeah, welcome. For those of you at home, Jump Right is red. Nature, also called fake meat, is blue. PAL delivery is gold. I fixed that on another version. Number hop is green. Go with the flow is turquoise. And don't you dare use this purple. All right. We have 54 more seconds. Has everybody voted? We got 79, 80. Wow. All right. So it's been nice. You've been probably wondering why I called you all together like this. Is to hear some of the most innovative ideas in the land. That's right. Winston, do you want to interview Guadalupe now? Where do you go? Okay, we have no. Oh my gosh. They're in an order, Winston. Wow. All right. What we have here is the audience favorite for $1,000 is on the line. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You got it. 3, 2. And here. Oh, let's see. Looks like Number Hop crushed it. Number Hop.
Come on up. Come on up. Receive your check. A Number Hop.
All right, I'm writing in. Okay, now I'd advise you don't take this to any bank and try to cash it in, okay? This is only cashable in the dean's office of the O'Malley School.
So come on.
Yeah. Come over here. But congratulations on the audience favorite award. Congratulations for packing the room with your friends. Nicely done. All right. Now, Winston, are you ready? We will now do third, second, and first place. Are you still ready? All right. In third place for $1,500. I will now lean down and get okay, it is Jump Right. Third place. Come on down. All right. Come over here to the Read 'em and Weep side. There we are. Congratulations. Beautiful work. And now I'd like to hear from Julia.
Congratulations. You guys are really onto something. You definitely identified the problem, which is ACL. We had two people here that just recently heard of an ACL. So, good luck. Keep going, and there's a huge opportunity here, and way to go. Nice job.
Okay. Thank you. All right, in second place, who do we have? $2,500 for second place. Who do we have? Let's see. Pal Delivery, second place. Congratulations. Ben, can you have any words?
Absolutely. We chose you guys second. We think that, number one, the presentation was on point. You guys killed that. Number two, I think that it's a well thought out concept. I think it's generating like a new market, and I think you're creating a lot of opportunity for a whole new market, and specifically side hustle. So I'm all about the side hustle thing, and I think all of us see that as a game changer. So much love, and we wish you continued success.
So the moment that we all the moment that we all been waiting for, our first place winner. There are no losers here. Thank you for everyone, all of the groups, all of the time that you have spent working on these projects all semester, from last semester to this semester now. But now we've come to the moment where who is the first place winner for $5,000, and that winner is? Number Hot! Come on down.
Oh, right, that's right. Yeah.
No, come on, Chloe. Chloe, come on. Come on, Chloe. Come on, Chloe. Come on, Chloe. Oh, hold on. Mike, you have any words?
You got as fast as you can. No, you have to produce in-house, so don't run that fast. Great job, you all. You utilized your time well. Your visuals were excellent. The SWOT analysis, we all appreciate it. And moreover, the product was really clearly defined in terms of need, in terms of market, and there's a lot of potential in this product. Kudos on the hard work. Looking forward to the future. Good luck.
All right. Thank you very much to our sponsor. Wait, no, presenters don't go anywhere. We're going to get one giant picture of all of us, okay? So we need all the presenters up here. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Mike Kelly, 1980, Vincent Buffa, and Fred Morrow. Thank you to our judges, Ben, Julia, Mike, and Michael. Thank you very much. And to all our presenters, thank you for coming tonight. And Battle of the Bronx is coming up April 18th. So see the winners here go up against Fordham University at Fordham. Be there. All right.
Why? I was going to say, if you guys can hang tight, I got to speak for another interview, one-on-one with Winston.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tight like 10 minutes tight, or tight like less? Okay. Nice. I don't want my wife to beat me up.
Big meat. I fixed that in another version. But that worked out okay.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
All right.
Another one done. Another one done. Another one done.
We'll have to work them pretty hard on the presentations to go up against Fordham.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Good training.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, I was. This was great. Great job. Thank you.